Hi guys, we are in Cape Town today.
And this is actually the very core city center. So we've been dreading to actually come here for a long time, but today we made the decision to actually come here and walk around and explore. So we're actually here with our new friend. That's Rodney. Hi Rodney. So Rodney's actually invited us to stay with him at his home, and he's actually a Joburgian who moved to Cape Town a long time ago, right?
7 years.
7 years. So he said we could actually come out here and explore some parts of the city center. They're actually very interesting. Oh, somebody's screaming for the actor.
Yes.
So there's a movie filming that's going on right there. So we'll maybe walk down to that corner as well. But we're right now in front of this really cool building. I'm not sure what it is though. Is it
City Hall.
City Hall. So the City Hall, and we see this very old building, probably from the late 1800s or early 1900s.
And in one of the balconies, there is a person standing out and waving at us.
And that's Nelson Mandela. And that right there is actually the Castle of Good Hope. So this entire place is actually a city square. There's another statue here and big skyscrapers everywhere leading that way. We just went up there and got a selfie with Nelson Mandela, and now we're just walking on the street. We realized that Cape Town actually has a lot of skyscrapers. You can see so many big buildings everywhere.
All the streets are filled with buildings and they look so nice actually.
Yeah. I mean, even though they're big skyscrapers, they also have this old world charm.
Yeah.
Some of these buildings probably are from the early 1900s even, because it's all made with rock, and I'm still a bit nervous to vlog here. So even though some of these skyscrapers are quite big, it's just that the way they've been constructed still reminds you of an older time.
It's like a vintage version of a city.
So it looks really nice to walk around. The kind of vibe that I'm getting is what we felt while watching videos of London, or those kind of cities in Western Europe or America that have this old English theme to it, but at the same time you can see all these beautiful African influences everywhere with the colors, with the little markets hidden behind these buildings. So it's actually very, very nice. Some kind of filming happening there. Kaapstad is actually the Afrikaans name for Cape Town. And this area behind us is actually where the parliament is located. And Cape Town is actually one of the 3 capitals of the country, the other 2 being Pretoria and Bloemfontein. So those are more in the central and northeastern parts of the country. But Cape Town is in the southwest, so Legislative Assembly actually sits here in this building, while a lot of the other components of governance are actually up there. So Cape Town has a pretty big significance in South Africa's governance as well as development, because this is also supposed to be one of the most developed parts of the country. And we can see that everything is just so cool. And wherever you see from, the Table Mountain's always around.
The most fun part about Cape Town is the weather. When we left, you remember it was so sunny, and then it got cloudy, it got windy, and now it's drizzling.
So
you can actually experience like 4 different kinds of weather in one single day.
it's so cloudy, we totally didn't expect, because it depends on which side of the Table Mountains you're actually standing on. And as you get closer to the city center, which is within what is called as a city bowl, it's surrounded by the Table Mountains on all sides and then the Atlantic on the other side. So when the clouds come in, they're all just parked right above the city, and you'd never know when it'll start raining. And this, you guys know, after traveling with us for 2.5 years on this channel, you know that we love this kind of weather, where it's just cool enough to walk around, it's not sunny, we don't have to wear our sleeves, and yeah, it's so nice to experience Cape Town this way.
So when you're in Cape Town, always have a rain jacket and a sweater in your bag, and a hat, and some sunscreen, and
because
some
you
food.
never know what happens and how hungry you get while being out here.
Both of them are so tall, you know.
Everybody, you know how tall Shishira is, right? But you haven't seen Rodney. So let me just show you what it's like. How tall are you?
1.89.
1.89. Shish, you want to tell people the truth?
1.5.
No, tell the truth.
1.49.
See? And we also just found the Taj Hotel. It's one of India's most popular chains. It's run by the Tatas, so there's actually one branch right here in Cape Town. The Taj Hotel. Did you see it?
Yeah, it has the Indian flag.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
What are you thinking, my friend?
Shish just saw dosa. This is the favorite food from back home that we have been missing for a while now. Want some?
Yeah man, do man stay right there.
So now we are at Bo-Kaap, the most colourful part of Cape Town. Every single house is painted in a different colour, like yellow, blue, green.
They're all
whatnot,
super
yeah.
bright, super shiny colors. And this entire neighborhood is actually very important to the history of Cape Town, because this is where a lot of the Cape Malays live. It's the colored community that calls this area their home. And that's why you see a completely different culture here as compared to what you'd see further up in other parts of Cape Town. The biggest obvious factor is how colorful houses are, and it almost reminds us of what we've seen in other parts of Asia. A lot of Islamic parts in Asia also have this kind of color, especially in Indonesia, Malaysia.
Penang,
And, yeah. The colored people who live here basically have some kind of ancestry that comes from that part of Asia. Mostly because when the Dutch were here colonizing South Africa, they also had been colonizing Indonesia and the southern parts of Southeast Asia, from where they brought a lot of people over here. So that's how East Asians ended up here in the southern tip of Africa, and even today they live here, they call this home. I don't know if people actually speak Malay here, but we did see like food being labeled as Cape
Like
Malay food.
Tempeh, we saw tempeh on a few menus.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Bobati?
No, boboti. Boboti. So boboti is also apparently a local dish here that has influences from Southeast Asia, but is definitely Cape Townian or South African in that sense. It was quite impressive to come and see it in person. We've only seen it on the internet and social media.
Yeah.
So to actually be here and see it, and you also find a lot of mosques here, very colorful, very narrow roads though. But it's super safe to actually walk around here. They also have a lot of walking tours that we spotted.
Can you believe there are 11 official languages in South Africa, and this is also called as a rainbow nation because of the variety of ethnicities in this country.
It's not just white Africans, black Africans, or even brown Indians who came here a long time ago with the British, but also all of these other colors in between, including the Cape Malays. And of course, a lot of these ethnicities have come together over many generations, made families, and that's why even today you will find a variety of different colors on people's skin. But
Yeah.
what you can say for sure is everybody seems definitely very Cape Townian here.
Yeah.
Almost everybody has a very similar accent. It doesn't matter if they're speaking Afrikaans or English. You can sense that, okay, they have a very thick South African accent. And then we have obviously been standing out because we can't really speak that way.
But Namit has picked up a few of them. Talk like a South African.
You mean like this?
Like now.
Like now.
Or just now.
Just now. So that's a new word Rodney just taught us. Now apparently means like right now.
And just now
is
means
a bit later.
And this whole Bo-Kaap neighborhood is just not flat. There's so many ups and downs all the way. This actually goes up the side of Table Mountain, so that's why you see a very sharp incline all the way to the top. And it goes further down into the city bowl. now on Long Street, which is one of the most iconic streets here in Cape Town. Every building here has some or the other kind of refreshment or bar in it.
There are a lot of clubs, pubs, bars, food places, restaurants, beauty salons. Everything is there on this road.
There's even backpacker hostels and lodges. But the weird thing is that we have come here at an earlier hour of the day, so everything is a lot less busy. But when you come here at night, that's when it gets really, really wild. The impressive part for us is to see all of these old buildings that are now bars and pubs and clubs. So
this was the one street which Navneet wanted to come to from day one of our time in Cape Town. It's like we should go to Long Street.
we just
should go to
never,
Long Street.
we just never
We should go
came.
to Long Street.
We just never came because of how unsafe it's generally told to be. But I guess Rodney helped us get over this fear and come out here and also get to vlog it. So that was helpful. Such an awkward thing. You come anywhere in Cape Town, you find a sign like this that disclaims almost everything, every responsibility from the place. It doesn't matter if you've come here on your own or as a guest of anyone.
Or
Disclaimers
even if
like
it's
these.
even if it's a church.
Yeah, it's so weird. Look at that. We've now made it to the waterfront.
So you haven't done that?
No, we haven't
Okay.
been here.
Okay.
For some reason, there's a random penguin with a scuba diving tank on the back. Shish seems to be so fascinated with it.
What is that? We're now walking around at the V&A Waterfront. It's actually a harbour. You can see many cruise ships, small boats, everything parked beside this place.
Yeah. But what's interesting is there's a lot of different cafes, restaurants, and just like small bars and clubs to hang out at. And everybody's just walking around here. It seems to be a very fun sunset spot. There's also a few canal cruises that start here and go into the city actually. And you get a very incredible view of Table Mountain. But as Rodney was saying, when the clouds are actually here on top of the mountain,
It's like they have a table and then there's a cloth on the table.
so they call it the tablecloth, not just the Table Mountain. So that was fun to learn about. And all of these buildings, some of them are actually from the early 1900s, so you still see some of that Victorian architecture even today. But then there's also new buildings. Some of these are really expensive hotels, probably the most expensive in all of South Africa.
I can be yours, you're all I need, girl. Tell me now if I was your boyfriend, never let you go. Keep you on my arm, girl, never leave me alone.
Wrong thinking.
Cape Town!
have just come out to the last viewpoint of the day. This is called Signal Hill, and we're right now overlooking the coastal side of the city.
Remember when we were hiking up Lion's Head, we could see one small hill with one tiny road going right on top.
Yeah.
We came on that road now.
So right now we can see the edge of the coastline here, and then the city actually continues that way. So you can see more lights that side. It's incredible and incredibly cold. As you can see, Shish has turned into a little burrito.
That's a big one.
I think this is a bit small.
Hope it's enough. Hope it's enough.
So Rodney, is this like the local specialty?
Typical Gatsby, which you should have. One of the first things you should have when you head down. But
What's happening, Navneet?
Well, Rodney has treated us to ice cream. He finished his faster than ours, so I can't show. Go for it.
So this is lemon rice.
Wow.
This is buttermilk. This is tomato curry. This is the dal, and this is your bean curry. And we have achar and a big bucket of curd.
Indica Vista. Also in very good condition.